Concept of ultra vires in company law. There is a case I'll put here. Ashbury Railway Corporation is a locus classicus in ultra vires, right? Now, ultra vires simply means beyond your powers. You have exceeded what you're supposed to do. In company law, this is more or less restricted towards the objects of the company or the powers of the agents or directors or officers of a company. If you've exceeded your power, it is said that you have acted ultra vires. I want to say ultra wires, but let me not say. Now, what happens if a company acts ultra vires its object? I'll give an example. If in the memorandum of association of a company, the company said that their object includes importation of cars or manufacturing of cars, assembling of cars, sale of cars, and other like products. And then the company leaves this and starts manufacturing building materials, tiles, doors, gates. You see that the company is now doing what is not in its object clause. Good. And that means ordinarily that the company has acted ultra vires. Anything the company does in excess of its object clause is void. So if there is anybody who has gained an interest or acquired an interest, you go loser because the company acted beyond these powers. That is, the company didn't have the powers to do that which it did. The drafters of the law said, some companies are now hiding under this thing to take advantage of so many persons. We are going to change it. So under section 43, 44 of CAMA, when I say CAMA, Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 as amended in 2023. Now, if you look at section 43 basically talks about the powers of a company, that the company has powers to do things as a human being, right? Anything that is in its memorandum of association, that's what it should do. 43 sub 2 talks about the powers of a company not to fund political parties and political activities. But 44 is more or less our concern, effect of ultra vires actions. Now, 44 sub 1 says company can do any. But 44 sub 3 says that even though the company exceeds its powers, does something and beyond its object clause, that the act or any transfer of property or conveyance of property is not void, is not invalid simply because the company acted above its powers. So, if in the instance I gave earlier on, that the company had powers to only manufacture cars or car parts, assemblage of the car parts, sale of cars and all of that. Now the company went ahead to build or to sell or to produce building materials. This is not in its object clause. I mean, the production and sale of building materials is not in its object clause, right? But the company did that. Ordinarily, it would have been, all those actions would have been void, and anybody who has acquired an interest, anybody who may have paid for building materials may lose the supply because the company acted beyond these powers. Section 44 sub 3 of the CAMA 2020 as amended says, even if a company has acted above its powers, that act is not invalid simply because it is above its object clause. Also, if someone has acquired a property or property has been transferred to the company or from the company to another person, in the process or in the execution of that ultra vires action, that transfer is still valid even though the company acted beyond its object clause. This is to protect people, because it is not everybody that would know that a company cannot or should not do this. So imagine if I meet a company director, I approach a company and these directors, and I'm not aware that the company is not supposed to sell or manufacture building materials, and I enter into a contract for the production of certain units for me, and the company goes on to produce certain units, and then all of a sudden it's time for the company to supply. I mean, I have paid, or you are supplying me now. The company now says, well, it is not within my object clause to produce building materials, therefore you have lost the interest. I cannot supply because if I do that, it will be an illegal act. That's not fair. That will be injustice. So equity came under section 44 sub 3 to say, even though upon still you are acting above your powers, it is still valid. You know another reasoning? Not only is it to curb injustice, but you, the company that was acting ultra virus, should have known that you are acting ultra virus. And if you still went ahead to act ultra virus, estopel by conduct will hold you, because you cannot say I can and I cannot at the same time. If you have acted ultra virus, finish it. It is valid. See you in another topic.